Hello, it is Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Moon Astrology Tarot, this time for the moon in Gemini, darkening moon in Gemini, leading up to this Cancer new moon on July 5th. So just a couple of reminders. Of course, if you want to catch your sun and rising signs for Cancer season, that video is linked below. And then all the other links to buy me a coffee, join the Awakening Spirit Collective, listen to my episode on the Hearts Unleashed podcast, etc., etc. So if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. Okay, so Moon and Gemini. So Gemini energy is kind of amplified right now because of Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is at detriment in Gemini. However, he's still doing Jupiter things. And so I say all of that to say that if you are noticing your nervous system being like more anxious, or you're feeling more indigestion or something like that, like you may want to know where that Gemini house is in your natal chart, whether it's your whole sign house or your Placidus house, it doesn't matter. You kind of just want to know where it's at so that you can feel into it. I personally feel Gemini energy amplified when we're in Gemini season. Now that Jupiter's in Gemini, I'm like, oh, is this ever gonna end? Like, I'm scatterbrained, I have indigestion, all of the things. And I'm sure there's other contributing factors like stress and whatnot. So we want to like stay grounded, do some meditating, do some yoga, that sort of thing. And I know, in my personal life, like I'm dealing with a lot. So like, obviously it just is, but I'm saying like, this is where that whole Saturn and Pisces comes into play, is really taking responsibility for managing your nervous system, managing your body, managing your spiritual practices, all of those things. Okay, that being said, all right, so this moon is July 2nd through July 4th. So it switches from Taurus, which is earthy energy, which, as I said, the end of that Taurus moon is not the most grounding Taurus energy we would like. And then it's going to head into Gemini. It's going to trine Pluto while Pluto is opposing, or excuse me, the moon will move into Gemini and trine Pluto while Mercury is opposing Pluto. So Mercury will be in Leo, opposing Pluto in Aquarius, while the sun is still squaring the nodes. So so it feels very like mercurial heavy. It could be, I feel like what may happen is people kind of have a ping, light bulb epiphany moment, maybe around midday, as the moon moves into Gemini. And you really feel the need to journal about it, talk about it, or express some feelings around some things. This is a darkening moon. This could also be some introspective time, or time in solitude, and really reflecting, feeling through what's actually coming up for you, what's actually surfacing for you, things like that. I also talked about your nervous system because a lot of people seem to be going through a very large, long, drawn out up-leveling process that's taking its time. But part of up-leveling is your nervous system having the capacity to up-level or to handle the expansion, right? So if you are getting ready to relocate, or and maybe you've never relocated before, if you're getting ready to shift your income, but you've never shifted your income before. If you're getting ready to be in a romantic relationship, but you've never been in a romantic relationship, or at least not a good one, and all of these things, and our body, physical body, needs to adjust to that. And it's tricky because Jupiter is in Gemini. Mercury does rule the nervous system. And then we also have Mars building in its conjunction to Uranus. Maybe we don't even need to talk about that one in this particular video, but I do think it's important to point out that there are definitely some transits happening, whether currently in this moon cycle or coming up, that are contributing to us being really stressed out, just because we are not used to where we are going, right? And the where we're going is so unknown and unfamiliar to our human self, our ego self, that we may be a little stressed out. So manage your stress accordingly, ground yourself accordingly, get outside and be in the grass. Get outside in general and just be in the sunshine and take a walk. Or do some grounding yoga if you can only be inside. There are also like grounding like mats and like bed, like there's like mattress pads, grounding sheets and things like that plug into the electrical outlet, a grounded electrical outlet that can ground you. I don't know how much I buy into that, because to me, grounding is all about being connected with the earth, and electricity doesn't, I don't know, plugging into the grid to get grounded. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've never experienced it. My point is that the best thing to do is to go out and be outside. And just be in nature and touch a tree or hug a tree. And don't give a crap about what people think of you. You've got to do what's right for you. And that's kind of where this whole Pluto and Aquarius thing, with now everything's about to come into Leo and oppose it, is having the courage to do the things that you know you need to do, regardless of what people say, think, or feel about what you're doing. Within reason, of course. Like, don't intentionally go out and piss people off. Not a good time to do that anyway with this much Cancer energy. And but I think you kind of know what I'm getting at, right? Stay connected to yourself as much as you can. Again, this could be a lot of introspection and self-reflection, and really like, is your life actually going where you want it to go? And if it is, what are you willing to let go, or what needs to go in order to make that shift? And this is really challenging for people. I can speak from experience that I held on to some relationships, whether romantic or friendship or even work relationships, well beyond their comfort zone, well beyond where it was comfortable to do so. And to my detriment, as I constantly felt like I was fighting to keep the relationships alive, or to keep that whatever alive. And the more you're fighting to keep something alive that's ready to go and move on, the harder it can be on your body to actually get to the next level. So, have the inner dialogue with your higher self, with your inner child, to really feel into what is surfacing for you. So I hope that makes some sense. I'm going to pull 2 cards in both decks, because why not? It's a Gemini moon, and why not? Why not? I don't think I set my phone up correctly, though. Let me do that. All right, so we got, oh, the Fool in reverse. Data in reverse. Well, I don't think this is the right time to be, well, and maybe it is. I don't know that this is the right time to explore new things. I think this is a time to really feel into what already is for you. I feel like there's a lot of people really emerging into, or stepping into, or exploring what already is for them, like what already is within you to do. Like, there's nothing new that needs to happen, nothing new that needs to be created or invented at this point. I feel like for us as individuals, it's really a time to like just mentally digest, right? There's physical digestion and there's mental digestion. And I feel like it's a time to really mentally digest what is opening up for you, what is unfolding for you. Because I think even if we don't feel like it is, I feel like there's a lot unfolding for a lot of people right now. Even if we don't see it in the physical world, maybe it's in another dimension, perhaps we're feeling it in our dream state. But I feel like there's a lot opening up for people, and people, it's that we're so conditioned to only believe what we can see, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like there's a lot of opening up and unfolding in other, in parallel dimensions or in other dimensions that we're needing to, again, expand our nervous system to have the capacity to take in. We also got the Knight of Batleths. Oh, dang it, I forget which Klingon this is. Somebody knows in my comments, because people often know in my comments which Klingon this is. But the Knight of Batleth, so the Knight of Swords, in traditional tarot, you know, this feels like, so the Knight of Swords is sort of preparing, you know, maybe even like executing the strategy. Swords is wisdom. So it's all about strategy and, you know, I want to say like reconfiguring, maybe recalibrating your mindset to the next plan. Because if indeed what I'm feeling is really accurate, okay, if what I'm feeling is accurate, let me put the Knight in front. You may be feeling like you are in a state of holy shit, what the fuck, that's completely ridiculous, that can't happen, I can't, blah 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 blah, right? All of the things that we tell ourselves to hold ourselves back. So we're in this like human self, ego self, limited experience, and we're growing into a new experience. And so in order to, again, it goes back to like that whole just shifting, recalibrating, readjusting, right? If you you know, you work a certain type of machine, I don't know what type of machine, but I know this happens. You could even say like a computer, like you defrag a computer because you're creating space in that computer for the next projects, right? Like you could even put it in that sort of terms. But even like a machine that has to be calibrated, Bluetooth, when you work with Bluetooth, oftentimes you have to reconnect the Bluetooth to the device that you're using to operate the Bluetooth, right? Those sorts of things. So it's the same thing if you think about our human self, our human mind as a computer, then it's the same sort of thing. You have to defrag, you have to configure your settings, or, you know, whatever. When you get an update, you kind of got to go through and reconfigure some of your personal settings on your computer, on your iPhone, on your whatever, right? That's what I'm feeling with this moon in Gemini as we move into this new moon in Cancer situation. Let's see what's up with the self-care. I can tell you those copaiba and turmeric and ginger, peppermint, doing things that support your nervous system, like yoga, things to do with like your vagus nerve to calm your digestion down. Again, movement, exercise, just to kind of keep your systems moving, keep your muscles moving, do some stretching, that sort of thing, walking. Let's see. Or sing. Sing works your vocal cords. Sing. I think this is a part of it, is sing. And I feel like there was recently we had chanting, and I think that's the same thing, but maybe like singing your favorite songs out loud, and you know, feeling comfortable to sing, you know, sing in the shower, sing to yourself, sing in your place, however that works for you. Let's get another one. You know, I've mentioned it before, but my tea journey has been instrumental in discovering what teas are good for what, you know, what I'm feeling. So sometimes like turmeric tea is perfect as an evening tea. And other times a good Earl Grey is perfect. So, and knowing when to and not to overindulge in caffeine or coffee or sugar or alcohol or whatever. And as I say that, we get sweet treat. But maybe if you are somebody who's being kind of conscious of your health, like having a sweet treat is maybe not the same as it was before. And you've got to find a new way to have a sweet treat that is more healthy, right? Maybe it's a piece of fruit instead of like a legit piece of fruit and not like a fruit cobbler or a pie, which would add more sugar and more carbs because of the topping and the mixture to make the filling. Things like that. Maybe it's having a Dole Whip or an Italian ice versus ice cream because that's more of a natural fruit than ice cream, which is milk and sugar. So anyway, all right, that's what I got for this moon in Gemini. Take very good care of yourselves. Be sure to nurture yourself. Take your time when you need to. And again, it's a matter of being, feeling good to say, hey, I actually need to go rest, or I really need to eat. And here's what I'm hungry for, and those sorts of things. So, all right, I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye for now.